I'm Kevin Coleman with the Cider Post, and I'm with Pat Friel, who spoke with the Ross County Commissioners about mental health in the jail. And Pat, first, can you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Dr. Patricia C. Friel. I used to have a mental health and substance abuse counseling facility here in Ross County, and I retired, and now I'm a pastor.
But you're also working with mental health issues in the county and with the county commissioners, right?
Correct. When I had my business, I was part of the Mental Health Forum of Ross County, and I decided to continue working for mental health improvement among folks who are many times incarcerated strictly because of mental health, to see if we cannot alleviate the issues and get them back into a way of being productive citizens of Ross County instead of committing crime and being put in jail and having a revolving door. So I'm interested in seeing a mental health court started and seeing what the county commissioners can do to help fund different aspects of this program, either for the jail or for the court.
And it sounded like you brought up the Outpatient Acute Crisis Center, which was a topic of the Planning and Zoning Commission last week.
Yes.
So that ties in with mental health courts and issues with the jail?
Yes, because if we have that, then folks maybe can drop into that if they're in a crisis situation instead of becoming an issue for the police or the sheriff's department committing a crime and going to jail. They'll have a drop-in center where they can just go and talk, de-escalate. That center can call their counselor, they can call their probation officer, whatever needs to be done at that point. And that should help mitigate being re-jailed.
So the commissioners were concerned about how this would be paid for, whether it's taking funds from one thing to another, or if it's additional funds. Can you explain some of that?
Depending on how things are written up, it can be some of the same funds can just be reallocated to a different source. And that would be something the sheriff's department, the county commissioners, and the court would have to determine how they wanted to set that up.
I think you mentioned that Hamilton County has some good experience with this.
Yes.
So how would a mental health court be operated? Be similar to a drug court?
Yes. They would meet with the judge once a week or once every other week. They would have a probation officer, and they would also have a mental health person who would follow them weekly, daily, whatever their needs were.
And would this again tie in with the trying to look at my notes here, the acute crisis center, or would that be, is that a voluntary thing that's separate from like people who are inmates in the county jail?
The voluntary crisis center is separate for the people who would be in drug court, but mental health court people could utilize those services if they needed them.
So this would be an interrelated system that would help, yes, hopefully alleviate issues in the jail.
Right, because if somebody knows about the drop-in crisis center, instead of becoming an issue with their neighbor, they could say, oh, I know somebody down there, I can stop in and talk to them and I won't bother my neighbor. And then the drop-in center, the crisis drop-in center, could notify whoever their counselor was. And that person then could take over the care of the individual.
But could the sheriff's department take someone who evidently has some mental health issue to the acute crisis center and
yes,
and avoid jail time? Instead they get, yes, what they really need?
Yes.
So what kind of timeline is possible here to get this going?
It takes time to get everything to the Supreme Court, to the specialized docket, and this cannot be done in under 6 months, and it might take up almost a year to do it. Maybe not quite that long, but it can't be done in under 6 months, I can promise you.
But it would still be a better situation than what we have now.
You have to start somewhere. Day one has to start somewhere.
All right. Any other Well, the Acute Crisis Center, there is some controversy over where it's proposed on East Main Street. The Planning and Zoning is supposed to come back after 90 days after their hearing. Any
30
thoughts?
days after their
30. Any thoughts on if they say no, will that delay that process?
You'll have to address that with Melanie Swisher, the director of the Adam H. Board. I'm just an interested community member on that particular thing.
Okay, but it's all interrelated here.
It's all interrelated, Jess.
All right, any other thoughts? If people need help?
If people need help, we do have Crisis Center outside of Paint Valley Mental Health that they can call 211 and get help with that. They can also call, there's Integrated Health, there's Path Integrated Health, all of these agencies in the town that people can call and get appointments.
Just do a search online, you should be able to find
You do a search online. You can also search for NAMI, N-A-M-I. You can do a search online for that. They're located, the building that used to be Kitchen Collections, they have an office on the side of that building on the parking lot. It's called NAMI. And you can walk in there and get help from there and resources also.
East Water Street near Mulberry.
Yes.
All right. And if anyone needs some pastoring, you're also available for that?
Yes. I do pastoral counseling, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Pat Friel, who's working on helping mental health in the jail and other issues, thank you very much.
Thank you.